Hello and a good day. And thank you for having me as part of the conference for 2022. I'm presenting a paper on the adoption of computerized accounting information system, CAIS, among hospitals in the Tema West municipality of Ghana. With me to do the presentation are Incumbescent Abina, Mate Edward Mbakwe, Crystal Patricia, Prince Boateng, and then Dominic George Kofi Mate. I'm Edward Mbakwe Mate. It has come to our notice that in recent times, almost every institution is doing everything possible to adapt to a new technology of doing things, which hospitals are not exceptional. There have been many studies on this. One is from the annual Torah 2019, Salahum 2019, Abdullahi 2018. All these researches were talking about how manufacturing firms adapt to computerized system in computing their work. This has been the trend where many researchers are looking at manufacturing firms. Others too concentrated on developed countries. Researchers such as Aldi 2017, Bupinda Muzaki 2020, Saudi 2020, Ezini 2017. They all talked about using technology in production, but this time in a developed country. Now we have tried to now look at it not from a developed country's perspective, but rather from a developing country such as Ghana. And this time around, we wouldn't look at manufacturing firms' adaptation to accounting computerized system, but we are looking at hospitals. They are into provision of services. Find out whether they are also trying their best to adapt to new ways of doing things. Beside that, the numerous research available did not use one theory in buttressing their case. They use as many as 3, 4, 5. But we are looking at this as a very complex study, and for that matter, it will be very prudent to use only the term theory alone to support our study, so that it will look different from what others have been doing. Notwithstanding this, we've realized that hospitals in Ghana, most of them are not using the computerized system of accounting, and we found it necessary to find out the reason why they are not able to adapt and use it. As I said earlier on, we are using the technology acceptance model, that is TAM, to buttress our case. We'll be looking at elements that makes the TAM model. We have perceived ease of use, perceived usefulness, and then acceptance and usage as some of the constructs of the TAM model. Then we would also look at the determinants of AIS or CAIS adoption. Research has tried to give us two ways that the determinants can be grouped. One is on the level of a firm, and then the other is on the level of the individual. So what we want to try here and talk about is how individuals can aid the adoption of computerized information system for accounting in various hospitals. Then we will also look at how the firm itself would also try to push people through and to compel employees to try their best to adapt to technology. If you look at the conceptual framework, you will realize that we have perceived competence, perceived youthfulness, and then perceived ease of use. These are the three constructs that we want to work on with reference to the term model. Then when we come to the organization level, we are talking about technology. We are talking about the innovativeness of the firm. Then we'll go a long way to look at the economic aspect as well. Some organizations are not adapting to new ways of doing things, not because of anything, but their inability to acquire this technology is also something that we have to look at as we progress with our study. So, previous work have been using both firm and then individual levels of adoption as some of the determinants of adoption. But this study wants to blend the two and use them as a way of adapting to technology. These are our research methodology. We decided to use the cross-sectional research design because looking at the nature of the problem, we have realized that every sector or every section of the Tema West municipality may have different response. So it was ideal way to go for the cross section. Then we used hospitals as our population of the study. With the census or with the number of hospitals in the Tema West municipality, we were able to get 38. And then we used purposive sampling technique to select them to form our sample size. We use the purposive because not every hospital in the Tema West municipality of Ghana is using the computerized accounting system. So for us to get the exact information and to get it from the rightful people, we decided to use the cross-sectional one so that we can go ahead with our study. In all, we had about 32 hospitals in the Tema West municipality, and then we looked out for hospitals that has been in section for more than 2 years. So this helps us to make it a purposive in nature. Then we decided to do some few measuring using the questionnaires where we used 1 to 5, 5 standing for strongly agree and 1 for strongly disagree to our statements. Then we use the binary logistic regression to look at the dependent variables and the independent variable. To help us do this, we decided to form a binary equation where we have y is equal to beta plus DE, beta plus OR, beta plus OE, beta plus EN, and then etc. etc. Where B1 to B4 is the coefficient slope parameters. Then TE is technology, OR is organization. Then we have ON, organizational innovativeness, that's the ownership innovativeness. Then we have environment. So these are the variables we used for our study, and it gave us a lot and a better result. So the variables we have here are technology, organization, ownership, innovativeness, and then environment. They are 4 in number. So we decided to run internal consistency and collinearity assessment. And the result here shows that all the constructs are good enough to be used for the study. Based on this, we have the A, B, E, and then the C, R, all pointing at a good numbers that qualify the study to be carried on. So we quickly look at the regression coefficiency. With the regression coefficiency, we realize that at constants, the B, not the beta, the B is making 79.275. And if we are to use the binary equation as I stated, then this is going to be the value. Y is equal to 79.275 plus 0.221 TE plus 0.391 OR plus 0.525 OI plus 0.414 EN. So this makes the first equation. So if we should put everything, all variables here, constants, adaptation will give us 79.275. This indicates here that the 4 variables that we selected for the study contribute to adoption of computerized accounting information system at the Tema West municipality. If you go back and look at the coefficients here, we have the beta values, we have the t-test values, we have the errors, and then we have the B. All these are indicating that organization, economic, ownership, innovativeness are the real determinant of adoption of CAIS in Tema West municipality. Let's look at the reason behind some of the findings. We realize that one, technology. Technology is a new way of doing things, and you need to acquire knowledge for you to use the technology. This computerized system of doing things amount to what we call change management. There are a lot of firms that might not be able to handle this change very well, and people who wish to do things using the old method or old technology, and they might not pave way for the adoption of the technology, and there are literature to back what I'm talking about from the slides. Then, when it comes to organization, how ready the organization is when it comes to adoption of new ways of doing accounting. Some organizations are not totally ready for this, and for that matter, they will keep changing dates and postponing things day in and day out. Then we have the innovativeness of the owner. How innovative the owner of the hospital is also a contributing factor. Some hospitals are managed by people who really understand and people who appreciate innovation. And for that matter, they wouldn't spend much time in adapting to a new way of doing things that will make their business look good and their business make a lot of money. The environment within which the organization operates also is a contributing factor. If you have a conducive environment where people are ready to learn, you have a conducive environment where people are ready to adjust to new ways of doing things, definitely you will be at a better chance of adapting to this. But there are literature that shows that not having technology, environment, innovativeness of the owner would automatically lead to the adoption of technology. There are other factors that this research did not look at. Going forward, we want to do some recommendations so that the small and the small hospitals will be able to acquire. It is our wish that those who are selling the software for the computerized accounting system would try their best to give small firms or medium firms the chance or the opportunity to do payment in installments basis so that they will also be able to afford. We are also asking for thorough training and change of mind towards technology or a new way of doing things. Gone are the years where people have to run away from technology because they are not ready to go and learn. Situation is forcing us to adapt to this because if other hospitals are doing this, adapting to new way of doing things, then it means here that you will not have a competitive edge over them. We are looking at the owners again. Owners of hotels should also be well endowed with knowledge on technology. They should be ready to learn. They should be ready to acquire because they must lead the change. So that at the end of the day, people or employees will see the benefit of acquiring new skills to do a work of its own. The availability of technology too is also a factor. If the technology is not available, no matter how innovative the owner is, no matter how cooperative the employees are, you may equally not have your way out. But if you look at all what we have been able to put together, we have tried to add to knowledge by trying not to follow only the trend of using developed countries or using manufacturing firms or not even using just any service providing firm but a service providing firm in the health sector. This is a unique approach to a topic that has so many times been researched on, but we were able to add knowledge from this point of view. So on this note, we will bring our presentation to a close. We made mention of the factors or the adoption of computerized accounting information system CAIS among hospitals in the Tema West municipality. Thank you for your audience, and we are ready for questions.